Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. We today are going to be doing a really long breakdown of this massive intel barrage that Call of Duty have just released for Black Ops 6 Zombies. I'm going to be completely frank with you guys and completely transparent. I am not recording this in ideal conditions, as you can probably tell. And I'm just doing the best with what I have right now. This is very difficult for me to sort of make work. And so just bear with the weird conditions and the various things about this that are going to be less, let's say, polished than my content would normally be if I were at home. Sorry, I really wish it could be a little bit more refined, but I am doing the absolute best that I can. I really assure you, it will all make sense. So let's look at the Intel Barrage. This is also going to be very minimally edited, so I'm going to try not to mess up too much. So, extensive comms direct from the Treyarch Zombies team include an expansive gameplay overview, a detailed look at your pre-game preparation options, full details on well, I was going to say RBZ, as well as a Bestiary, or is it Bestiary, of the Terminus Undead. Part 1, The Prelude. Purely focused on the round-based zombies action coming to the game, the following Intel Barrage features extensive comms direct from the Treyarch Zombies team. It's interesting that they're saying the round-based zombies action coming to the game, as if there would be an alternative kind of type of action. Like, are we going to be getting round-based for launch, and then are we going to be getting Outbreak for, like, the next thing, or are we going to be getting something non-round based for the next thing, or is it going to be a year 2 of non-round based, or like the fact that they're specifying it this way is just interesting to me. My analytical brain starts to kind of latch onto those sorts of things when I start seeing those patterns in copy. The Barrage features extensive comms from the Treyarch Zombies team, detailed overview. That's what we just read up here. You're just repeating yourself. Jesus. Okay. Through the blog, a wide variety of gameplay systems are discussed. Who cares? Why are you giving me a warning? It's wise not to make assumptions that these indicate the total number of elements pertaining to a particular gameplay function. All content is subject to change. Okay, fine. Like spoilers ahead, also fine. Terminus overview. Outpost Escape Philippine Sea. Located in the Philippine Sea in the remote Terminus Island complex, historical data indicates a pre-World War II coal mining operator on the island, abandoned around 1932. 10 years later, Terminus became a forward US naval base. Mothballed until 1965, the CIA converted it into a top-secret outpost used for the detention of somebody. Interesting. In 1984, something happened. In 1986, Project Janus took over the island, building a laboratory in the subterranean mining caves. After Peck and Maya break the Requiem crew out of their prison cells, which we saw in the gameplay, or sorry, the cinematic trailer, the intro cutscene, they soon learned this is a bio-research station for Project Janus, and we saw some of the bio-research happening in the gameplay trailer, which I've just uploaded a reaction to. Your handlers are Peck and Strauss, and for the richest story experience, you'll want to choose your operator crew from Weaver, Gray, Carver, and Maya, the dedicated crew of characters featured throughout Black Ops 6 Zombies' storyline. Interesting. They are the dedicated crew throughout Black Ops 6 Zombies' story. So there's not going to be any crew changes, but then crucially, that also means they are not playable characters, or at least they're not sort of like named playable characters. They're not canonically present in Liberty Falls. They're only canonically present in Terminus. That's just an interesting sort of note that this sentence implies. Get ready to play this round-based zombies map at the launch of Black Ops 6, along with the Liberty Falls map. See, it's weird. It's like they're saying this round-based map, and then also this other thing, which is not round-based, is what's being implied, which is Liberty Falls. It's just strange because Liberty Falls is round-based, but the way they're wording it, like the way they're including the word round-based zombies here, it's like they're using the term wrong. Like, it's so strange. Okay. This is kind of giving me Nuketown vibes in a weird way, but let's see what this says. So, footage from an incursion at a once quaint, now overrun West Virginian town. I'm in that area as we speak. Interesting. Also gives you the first glimpse of the second launch map. See, they didn't call it a round-based zombies map here. What the hell? Seemingly the epicenter of a dark ether outbreak, chaos is crawling through Liberty Falls, with much of the local population now succumbing to the results of a second simultaneous dimensional breach. Uncover more about Liberty Falls at COD Next on August 28th. The Essence of Zombies gameplay overview. Black Ops 6 Zombies is purely focused on creating the finest, most rewarding round-based experience Treyarch has ever made. Okay, it's purely focused on that. So there isn't going to be another mode. Many of the gameplay systems you'll be reading about will be familiar to veteran zombie players, while others are designed to grow the zombies community and allow newer players to explore more of the main quest more easily. At its most basic level, one of the first Black Ops 6 round-based zombies maps involves you and optionally up to 3 additional teammates, exploring and eventually breaking out of a maximum security prison called Terminus Island, with waves or rounds of undead foes to dispatch as you discover and complete objectives. Okay, I want to ask the Call of Duty team, do you guys think people that don't like zombies are going to be opening up and actually reading through a document this long? Like, do you think that is the case? If so, fair enough. I disagree, but fair enough. If not, why are you explaining what rounds are? Like, I get being comprehensive. I get wanting to include new players in the fold, right? But new players aren't going to be reading the blog. This is not where they're going to be attracted to the game, right? They're not going to do this work to read all of, like, this is so extensive, and you're explaining what rounds are? Like, I just think it's a waste of breath. I think you've got to recognize that surely the newbie players, the folks that don't care about zombies and all those sorts of folks, surely they don't need an explanation of what a round is. Maybe that's just me being silly, but that seems like a valid assumption on my part. Delve a little deeper, and you realize your chances of survival are greatly enhanced by adept avoidance of the crowds of wandering corpses as you line up your killing blows, and just as importantly, by managing the main currencies of the game, essence and salvage. Okay. Let's see if those have changed here. So, additional and new routes through a round-based zombies map involve accessing blocked areas either by unlocking doors or removing obstacles, and both cost essence. Fine. Okay, that's nothing new. As some areas have multiple routes to discover, you must weigh up the costs in unlocking these thoroughfares, while at the same time spending essence on perks and pack-a-punch weaponry to strengthen yourself against the ever-growing undead hordes. Again, I just don't think that needed to be said, but fine. As your knowledge grows, you'll utilize other gameplay elements to your benefit, creating powerful offensive weaponry and studying areas of the map where there's a good amount of maneuvering space when larger, higher-round zombie hordes require rounding up and training. It's actually wild to me that they still use the training terminology, seeing as its origins as a term are a little bit more, how can we say, an outcome of 2010, a product of the time, right? Like, it wasn't just a train, it was a different kind of train, right? And so the fact that they call it training still is actually kind of surprising to me. I'm surprised that, like, Activision Legal is happy with that. Hoarding, like, you hoard the zombies, that could work. Kiting, that works as well. I don't care personally, but, like, I'm just surprised that that's sort of slipped through. In Black Ops 6 Zombies, essence takes the form of points you rapidly accrue by slaying zombies. Well, you accrue it less rapidly than you once did because of the new point system. Occasionally, it appears as vials of dark ether essence that sometimes drops from tougher enemies. You use essence in the following ways. Okay, let's see if there's anything new here. To access objective-related devices, so in Terminus there are devices that power the station to further your progress. Okay, it's origins generators. To unlock doors, with some allowing you to pay for half the unlocking cost, so that's new. You can share the essence amount with a teammate for the first time in Black Ops. You can summon a tactical raft for aquatic expeditions, which is also new, being able to just summon a vehicle by paying a little bit of money. To purchase perks from perk machines to add specific advantages via a single machine, or via Wonder Fizz that vends all perk cans. To purchase upgrades for currently utilized weapons from the PAP, tier 1 to 3, that increase weapon potency and ammunition reserves, as well as occasionally offering unexpected effects. To purchase ammo from the ammo caches, an additional weapon with a rarity rating from a weapon wall buy, additional armor from an armor wall buy. So additional armor costs essence now to get to tier 2 and tier 3. And to purchase a random weapon with a rarity rating from a mystery box, and more. And also to start a special trial challenge. So the trial challenge is giving Zetsubo, and the other new things are the tactical raft and being able to pay for half a door. And then the rest of it is stuff that we're familiar with. Oh, and I guess armor changing as well. The other main form, let's just put in a date of birth here, 1911. Let's do that. Okay, that's just a player collecting some salvage. Cool, that's fine. The other main form of currency is salvage, small piles of junk with a green outline found randomly from fallen enemies. Now, it's interesting they're specifying it's a green outline here because we previously have also had other forms of salvage that have not had a green outline. I believe they're getting rid of those. So, in a quality of life improvement, players now only need to manage one type of salvage, as opposed to collecting both normal and high grade salvage in Black Ops Cold War. Salvage drops are also now player specific, so you won't have to worry about teammates picking up your hard earned salvage before you can. Was that really a problem in Cold War? I don't really remember, but maybe that's because I played a decent amount of the game solo. Or at least did I? I don't really recall. You can use salvage in the following ways. To access an ammo mod and apply a special elemental power. To be clear, actually, just before I read on, that is a good thing. That is absolutely a good thing that it's player specific. That's good. You can use salvage in the following ways. To access an ammo mod and apply a special elemental power to your current weapon via an arsenal machine. So ammo mods are going to require salvage. To upgrade the rarity of your weapon. Okay, that's salvage. To build a specific tactical equipment, lethal equipment, and support equipment at the crafting table. And that's all salvage. Okay. Interesting. So, main quest. Every Zombies map has a main quest that you're left to your own devices to solve, usually after the route to the Pack-a-Punch machine has been completed. The main quest for Terminus follows a similar pattern, and you're free to fully explore the prison area, ocean, and smaller islands with tactical rafts at your disposal to explore one of the largest round-based Zombies maps ever created. One of the more thrilling aspects of round-based Zombies is the complete freedom you're given to investigate a variety of odd, out-of-the-way, and seemingly innocuous parts of the map. Sometimes there's nothing to find, sometimes an audio log, document, or strange artifact offers a clue to further discoveries, and occasionally, an entire hidden set of objectives is unearthed. By their very nature, Easter eggs are redacted and cannot be discussed, though we can state that veteran Zombies players should expect plenty of side quests to discover as you dig deeper into the secrets of Terminus Island. They do go on a little bit further. While Treyarch is focused on making their main quests for each of Black Ops 6 maps more challenging than those found in Black Ops Cold War, that is very important. That is a great sign. The studio is also adding an all-new guided mode to welcome more players into the world of Zombies. This mode is planned to release later in season after each map's launch to protect the sanctity of the traditional Easter egg hunt, where the community puts their heads together to find and complete the main quest and side quests every time a new map launches. In this guided mode, players will receive focused guidance through the main quest with rounds capped to certain stages of their quest progression. All side quests and other Easter eggs will be disabled to ensure experiencing the narrative is the singular priority. If you've ever been curious about jumping into the zombie story with both feet, this is your time. Players who complete a map's main quest will earn unique rewards themed after their respective map. That's great news, with an extra reward for completing the main quest the old-fashioned way. Players will also earn a limited time calling card for completing a main quest before the launch of the guided mode for that map, and long-time fans will be happy to know they'll have an option to keep playing their match after completing the quest. Okay, so this is absolutely the sort of thing that is worth making a dedicated video on. Like, there is a huge amount of information in that little section that is definitely worth addressing. Just to sort of get to some of the key points here real quick. I think that the addition of guided mode into Zombies is a gamble by Treyarch, and it's basically a gamble to say, if we do this, what we'll be able to do is, my hair is in my face, sorry. What we'll be able to do is we will be able to bring in more new Zombies players than we've ever had before, and that will kind of account for the lost interest that there'll be, and it will surpass the lost interest that there'll be from people that no longer feel like Zombies is as entertaining because there's less mystery around it. That is the gamble. At face value, to be completely honest, I'm skeptical that they're going to achieve that goal. I don't think adding a guided mode to Zombies is the way to make people care about Zombies. I think that actually just makes it infinitely less interesting as a whole, like on the whole. And I understand that more players would be a good thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm always going to be in favor of there being more Zombies players. but I think that it's kind of giving up on core zombies principles in order to achieve that goal. And so I'm just skeptical that that's the right idea. Now, I would love to be proven wrong, right? I would love to be proven wrong. Like if Treyarch can come along and in, I don't know, 6 months' time, they can say, yeah, so we tried this whole guided mode thing and actually it smashed it with flying colors and like we've doubled the zombies player base. Fair enough. I will make a video being like Treyarch W. Like that's incredible. Until that time, I'm just skeptical that this is the right move. I feel like it's dumbing down a mode that inherently is interesting because it's not dumbed down. And I lament that, to be honest. However, that's not to be all negative because there's actually a huge amount of really, really positive stuff in this as well. And you can see the guided mode as positive too, don't get me wrong. I'm just skeptical, that's all. The fact that there's unique rewards themed after the map for completing the main quest is huge. That's something that I've wanted for forever. I've preached about this for forever. It's so important to get Warzone people interested in actually playing the Easter eggs. So in that regard, hell yeah. Like, I'm so in favor of that. Also, the fact that there's an extra reward for completing it the old-fashioned way instead of guided, that's also good. Also, the fact that there's a limited time calling card for doing it before the launch of guided, that's also good. So, like, I get that they're taking really positive steps to try and smooth things out with guided mode. And I respect that. So, like, W Treyarch, these are all really good things. Like, all of these are good. And also, you have the option to keep playing your match after completing the quest. That's also really good. So, this paragraph, like, hella positive. Big thumbs up from me there. The fact that guided mode is also coming after launch instead of at launch is also good. That's a good thing, so the hunt is protected. Let's move on to exfil or expire. At some point, even the most hardened, strategically focused zombies players need to extricate themselves from the relentless hordes. And once you want to leave Terminus, you can call upon Raptor 1 to locate a landing site where you race to secure it before you're all overwhelmed. After clearing the vicinity, you may yet live to see another match. Or you can continue to explore the island, facing tougher and tougher crowds of ghoulish entities until you succumb to the threats. Either way, your personal best is tracked and logged, so you know when you've bettered a previous attempt. Zombie movement. I guess that's their play on Omni movement. With movement being redefined across the entirety of Black Ops 6, for the first time in Zombies, players can sprint, slide, and dive in any direction, seamlessly chaining combat maneuvers together, all with a full 360-degree range of motion. This is Omni movement, and the extra dexterity of this brings to your maneuvers something nothing short of game-changing. As veteran players will attest to, using your dexterity is the key to dodging a crowd of incoming undead in a narrow play space. Perfecting Omni movement allows a full range of action hero stunts, whether it's sprinting backward from a horde, diving sideways through a window, or automatically mantling low fences or scenery. I don't like the idea of automatically mantling. Thanks to intelligent movement, which you can optionally set to automatic, you can expertly circle strafe your foes. They've made circle strafing automatic? Wow. That's crazy. I'm actually really curious to see how that looks in game. Like automatic hoarding. Wild. If you really want to see your new moves in action, try out the ability to switch from first to third person perspective, and the shoulder you're watching while in third person mode, for the first time in roam-based zombies. Check your settings to change perspectives on the fly at any time during a match. Cool! That's cool to see. Heads-up display. The heads-up display that appears on your screen is designed to offer deep, customizable experiences across almost all aspects of the interface. There are far too many options to discuss in this blog. However, highlights include, the fact that there are too many options is crazy, the ability to choose from a variety of HUD layouts, including a legacy setting that removes the minimap and positions elements in the same place as the HUD in Black Ops 3. Now, interestingly, it's not saying it will give you the Black Ops 3 HUD, it's just saying that it will place the elements where they were in Black Ops 3. I would love to see a world where we could just get the old HUD in. That would be sick. The ability to turn off the health bar and zombie hit point damage numbers that appear with each successful impact. Full readability options, part of a large-scale undertaking related to accessibility for both vision and cognition is present. The ability to select a custom color palette for your interface. and the ability to turn off Pack-a-Punch weapon camos to preserve the look of your weapon customization. So they've kind of called out things here, which, like, this first bit, very cool, don't get me wrong. These other bits aren't actually that groundbreaking. I'm sort of surprised those are the things that they called out, but maybe these screenshots will show us. So the HUD is supremely customizable, but it's still worth showing the default display, so you can see how and where all the useful information is displayed. Sure, yeah, that's valid. So this is an example of action with the default HUD utilized. So you've got emotes here, I guess, and sprays on the left. Points and stuff, very similar to stuff we've seen in the past, Cold War. I mean, it basically just feels like Cold War, and then a Gobblegum menu on the right-hand side. My brightness just dimmed. Is my laptop about to die? What's going on here? Is this a reason for me to pause the video or no? Let's see. Oh, the laptop is struggling. Is it not plugged in? Oh, it's not plugged in. Isn't that crazy? Okay, let me just sort that out. All right, we're back in business. Sorry about that, chat. So this next screenshot down here is an example of the same action with the legacy HUD utilized. So as you can see, it's put the round count in the bottom left. That looks so weird. Like, yeah, that looks really weird to me. My brain is confused. Okay. Default HUD overview. Top left. Okay, they're just explaining HUD elements. Okay, we really don't need to read this. And also, like, who is reading this? Activision. Why? Like, is that something that you could... Are the press reading this? Could you just, like, send me a message and explain why you're explaining the HUD elements? Like, I'm a basic player that's never played COD before, but I would be reading this far into a blog post? Like, I don't get it. Sorry, it's a nitpick, but, like, I'm just always like, what are you doing? It just feels... It makes the zombies community feel like we're not being spoken to, right? You're like eternally speaking to somebody else. I don't get it. Idle hands, saving and stability. Due to a variety of important reasons, including improved visual quality and lower file sizes, an internet connection is required to play Black Ops 6 Zombies. As I mentioned in my whiteboard video 3 months ago or something, this is tragic. This is categorically bad, but this saving feature that they're about to talk about might be a somewhat saving grace. Robust systems have been put into place to maximize the ease of matchmaking and minimize gameplay interruptions, because obviously it's online only. Private matchmaking. New in Black Ops 6 Zombies, players can join another friend's game no matter how far they are through the game. This is great, providing the host has room in the game and their party is in a joinable state. It's been so annoying over the years to have to restart a game because a person has a connection interrupt and they can't join back. So this is fantastic. This is really good. Pausing, saving, and... Although, actually, it does probably mean that you can cheese stuff. Like, you can probably cheese completions by doing this. Like, I do a solo Easter egg and then just invite 3 people in and they get the reward at the end. And if they don't get the reward for having joined the match late, then if you're doing an Easter egg hunt, like, one of you is not going to get the reward. That's kind of unfair if you disconnect. Like, it's not your fault you disconnected. Curious to see how that goes. Pausing, saving, and recovery. At any point during a game, the following can occur. Pausing. You can elect to pause your solo match to take a quick break. Wow, that's crazy. After a finite amount of time without continuing to play, the game will automatically save the match at the point it was paused. Load the save file to continue. Okay, so pause is in the game, but it's only in solo. Okay, which is not the end of the world, but it's nice to know that we do have a solo pause. It does only specify a quick break, so it's not indefinite. And after that finite amount of time, the game saves, and you have to load the save file. For the first time in Zombies, you can elect to save your solo match at any time, provided you're at full health, aren't downed, dead, or actively engaged in an exfil. Load the save file to continue. So this means you can press start, quit the game, and then you can come back another day and play the rest of your Zombies match, which is nuts. Like, that is crazy. That is truly wild, and Like that's a huge W. That is such an insane feature. So like props to Treyarch for developing that, like for putting the tech together for it. Um, if enough time passes while you're AFK, the game will automatically save so you won't lose your progress, and then recovery. On the rare occasion that the game's servers, your internet, or a combination of the two conspire to prevent your continued enjoyment and you disconnect, solo players can load your save close to the point in time you disconnected and continue from that point. Squad players have, if you disconnect from a squad match but the host is still active, you can just rejoin and continue the match after a small period of time speculating. I mean, always online is a real problem. It is just a real problem overall. The fact that if I don't have an internet connection, I can't play the game, period, sucks ass. If I have a power cut, I cannot play the game. Well, I guess if I have a power cut, I can't play the game anyway. But if my internet goes down, if my ISP is like messing around or whatever, there is just no way to play the game locally. If I'm at a cabin in the woods and I want to just boot up an Xbox and have some fun on zombies, I can't do it. And it sucks. It's just genuinely bad. But the fact that the save state is here means that it's at least bad for fewer reasons. Like the number of possible scenarios for why having no offline play is bad is just it's reduced by this. So overall, if the only motivation to build this was because of the fact that it's online only, then I'd say that that's really unfortunate. But if we sort of take this away from the fact that it's online only and we look at it as its own thing in isolation, this is so positive. Like it's so positive as far as I can tell. So I want to give Treyarch props for that. I think that's a really cool thing that they've done. Pre-game preparation. Augments, customizing perks, ammo mods, and field upgrades. Augments provide a rich and innovative customization experience, allowing you to invest into research between matches, unlocking augments for every perk, ammo mod, and field upgrade in the game. This is the new perk, Melee Macchiato. Each perk, ammo mod, and field upgrade has a research path accessed in the pre-game menus between matches. Right? Revelations you make during your research allow you to unlock the true power of each item, which take the form of augments. A total of 6 augments per item, 3 major and 3 minor, are yours to uncover. A minor augment offers a limited advantage to the item, usually during use. A major augment offers a substantial advantage to the behavior of the item, usually during use. From the 6 researched augments, you can imbue 2 of them, 1 minor, 1 major, to each perk, ammo mod, and field upgrade. Augments are designed to create a deep progression path, as well as offering you the ability to dive into the research that benefits your style of play. Experimenting with all the available augments, learning how they interact with other augments for perks, ammo mods, and field upgrades, and also how your fellow teammates are using their preferred setups, provides an incredible depth to the experience. This sounds really cool. I think it sounds like they've taken the Cold War Zombies system and they've basically tweaked it so that now it's less just like permanent buffs that you get all of, and instead there's a little bit more picking and choosing. Obviously requires some more digging into and diving into, which I'll be doing in subsequent follow-up videos based on what I've seen so far. But at a super high level, it's pretty positive. I'd say that's pretty damn good. Weapons and loadouts. Neutralizing the frothing undead. Frothing undead, bro. Do you need to use the frothing? Like, damn. Neutralizing the frothing undead requires more than harsh words and bravado. You're fortunate to be able to count on an extensive armory from which to perfect your anti-zombie armaments before the battles begin. Let's get to the gunsmith and find out more about perfecting your pre-game loadouts. Stats and camos. Naturally, each of these loadout elements have zombies-related challenges and badges related to them, and the weapons have camos to grind for. This includes 4 highly desirable mastery camos and zombies. More information to come. Keeping score. There's no need to manually tally on how many zombies each individual weapon has eliminated. This menu keeps score. That's good. Creating and continuing to adapt your zombie culling arsenal is the key to in-game success, and the Black Ops 6's loadout system shares many features from Black Ops Cold War, as well as a few important differences. Primary weapon, fists, and melee. Your main method of eliminating the undead consists of a primary weapon, your fists, until you find a second weapon in the match, and a dedicated melee weapon, either sharp or blunt, for when the situation gets even messier, as an alternative to a melee strike with the butt of your gun. Primary weapon, choose from the obvious. Melee, choose from the available melee armaments. Okay. I'm down for dedicated melee weapons. I think that's very zombies, so the fact that that's in there is like, that works great. Weapons can also be purchased with essence at wall buys, dropped and swapped between teammates, improved with damage increasing rarity powers at arsenal machines, improved with ammo mods, pack-a-punched, and the zombie build system. Found it in a wall buy or mystery box as one of your own personal weapon builds, provided you've saved the custom build and assigned it to be accessible at a wall buy or mystery box in the loadout menu before a match. So that means I can set my loadout for a Galil, and then if I buy the Galil off the wall, instead of having random attachments that I have to cycle through, I just get the ones I want, which is pretty dope. Field upgrades. Each member of your squad is bringing a piece of specialized equipment known as field upgrades, a powerful device that offers a chargeable, impressive elemental ability. Okay, we get what those are. Let's just scroll down a little bit. At launch, expect to choose a familiar field upgrade and from past Zombies games, including the ones that we've all seen. In addition, expect a brand new field upgrade known as Dark Flare, offering a new and impressive offensive capability. Dark Flare. You generate a massive energy beam that deals lethal shadow damage. The beam penetrates everything in its path. Pretty cool. Field upgrades can be made even more powerful with the use of augments. Field upgrades cannot be dropped, but for the first time in Zombies, you can swap to a different field upgrade at any time during a match by using the in-game menu. Nice. Note that your cooldown will reset upon switching to a different field upgrade. Yep, that's to be expected. An example. With some promising mass takedowns during previous matches, you begin focusing on researching the Dark Flare field upgrade between matches, and start to unlock the minor and major augments, adding yet more power and future uses of the field upgrade. Once fully researched, you have 3 minors and 3 majors. Before you start your next match, you choose 1 major and 1 minor, depending on your specific needs, and you can swap between other augments between matches. We went with these. Heavy Shadow. Zombies impacted by the beam are slowed, and major augment Shadow Ball. The beam is replaced with a sphere that damages enemies as it travels, and it detonates at the end of the duration. Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm really excited for the augment system. I think that build crafting is going to be a real thing in Zombies now, so that's sick. I think that's cool. I'm super excited about that, actually. Tacticals, lethals, and support. Crafting table's back. There you go. Concussion, stim shot, smoke, decoy, shock charge, symbol, monkey, Casimir. So this is all stuff that you're already familiar with. Are they really explaining how grenades work? Like, you're explaining lethal equipment here? Really? Craft as many as you want. Frag, sticky, molotov, C4, combat axe, impact grenade, thermal grenade, blast trap. Okay, I mean, fine, I guess. Further improvements. Some tacticals and lethals are intermittently dropped by zombies to be gathered around as ground loot. A full complement of tacticals and lethals can be constructed at crafting tables. Okay, so that's just not telling us that much that's new. You can now craft self-revives, RCXDs, sentry turrets, and mutant injections. That costs salvage, and the mutant injection is what turns you into a mangler, crucially, so that's exciting. One of the support items you can craft is the mutant injection, which allows you to transform into and temporarily wreak havoc as a mangler. Once you inject yourself with the serum, you grow an additional 3 feet taller, become clad in plated armor, and can throw your weight around with a vicious melee swipe, ranged mangler cannon attack, and a zombie-killing barging sprint, all with some seriously impressive damage upgrades. Your new form even allows redacted, so maybe it's used for the Easter egg. Crack your teeth as well as the skulls of the undead with a variety of custom Gobblegum packs. Okay, so this is what Gobblegums look like. That's what the machine looks like. Similar, but slightly different to Monty's old machine. You can choose them based on the collection you have in your inventory. One of the ways to continuously keep your Gobblegum collections filled is by earning them in-game. See below. Gobblegums are single-use items and are permanently removed from your inventory once received in-game. Now, I think this is actually wrong. I have been told by Treyarch that they are not removed from your inventory once. Well, I guess they're removed from inventory once received. No. Yeah, it's just slightly confusing wording. Gobblegums are removed from your menu inventory once you receive them in game, but they are not consumed. They're just removed from the sort of sidebar entity, I think. Oh, sorry, sidebar inventory, but they're not consumed. And then if you crash and you jump back onto the game, before you've consumed it, then it will be restored to your inventory, I think. Slightly confusing wording from the blog there. They come in a variety of rarities: rare, epic, legendary, ultra, and whimsical, with the general rule being the higher the rarity, the more powerful the effect. Rares include shields up, armor is twice as strong for 3 minutes, killjoy, spawns an insta. Epic includes free fire, firing weapons consumes no ammo for the next 60 seconds. Soda fountain, the next perk purchased gives an additional random perk. There's legendaries like Phoenix Up, revive all teammates and they keep their perks, and wall-to-wall clearance, wall buys cost 10 essence. Damn, the fact that they cost 10 is actually really unfortunate. I feel like it should cost 0, that would be better. Ultra Gobblegums include Perkaholic, which gives the player all perks, obviously, and a Wonder Bar, where the next gun from the mystery box will be a wonder weapon. And Newtonian Negation is also returning as a whimsical, which is cool. Exceptions to this are whimsicals. As the name suggests, they're silly. This is some of the different shots of the machines. Looking good. Mr. Peaks is only too happy to provide you with an in-game confectionery machine from which you extract your gobstopper. Interact with it, pay some... No, don't pay any essence. No essence required, and a Gobblegum is randomly dropped ready for pickup. The machine then cools down on a timer or will be immediately reset on the next round. Grab the sweet, and then it's added to your inventory and HUD. See, now they're saying it's added to your inventory. It's just a bit poorly worded. You can store up to 3 unique gobbles all at once, and use 1, 2, or 3 all at once as well. This may very well add many new dimensions to combat, as the Gobblegum effects interact with your fellow teammates and other augmentations and power-ups. Gobblegums cannot be dropped or shared, but you can swap to a different Gobblegum pack at any time during a match by using the in-game menu. Nice! Changing the pack will reset the randomized order of the new pack. So you could just like toggle it over and over again to get a random order that you want? Maybe? New gobbles are earnable in-game, just for playing. Expect to earn 1 or more from every few rounds. You'll know when you've been awarded a new Gobblegum due to a reward sequence at the start of a subsequent round. Cool. Any unused gobbles are kept between matches, and you won't lose them if you happen to disconnect from a match. Fine, cool, yeah, yummy. Okay. These are all just perks, and I think that we can skip a lot of this because it's going to be basic stuff, like if you're downed, expect to lose perks. At launch, expect the following perk machines: Jug, Quick, Speed, Stam, PhD, Deadshot, Elemental Pop. In addition, there's the new one. This is worth taking a second on. It's called Melee Macchiato. It replaces the weapon gun butt with a deadly punch that sends enemies flying. And as you can see, I think in this clip here, they really do go flying, so that's pretty cool. And there's augments for Melee Macchiato as well. So you can get Milo, that's my name. Melee kills, reloading a portion of your held weapon. And melee attacks also can heal you 25. That's pretty cool. So then there's the Arsenal machine, and the cost to access this is Salvage. So along with rarity and pack-a-punch capabilities, your primary weapon can be outfitted with an upgrade obtained in-game by rare ground loot, and more specifically at the Arsenal machine using Salvage you collected as payment. Ammo mods grant the affected weapon a percentage chance of dealing a special effect upon a successful projectile impact. Only one ammo mod can be applied to the weapon at a time, though you can purchase new ammo mod as necessary. At launch, expect to access the following returning ammo mods, each with 6 augments to unlock and choose from: Brainrot, Cryo, Deadwire, Napalm Burst. In addition, there's Shadow Rift. Bullets deal shadow damage. Each bullet has a chance to spawn a black hole if striking normal or special enemies, warping nearby zombies away and dropping some from the air at high speed. Ammo mod example, riffing on the Shadow Rift. So you could use drop zombies fall on other zombies, and then you could also use zombies that are dropped from portals will explode on contact with the ground. Sounds pretty cool. Rampage Inducer. Alright, that's just exactly what you'd expect. It's zombies appearing more quickly and moving more quickly for the first 20 rounds. Ground loot. You've got green salvage, armor plates, and tacticals, lethals, support, and ammo mods. Okay, nothing crazy. There are other ways to secure ground loot, including blah, interesting, coffin dance Easter egg maybe. Ammo caches are probably just the same old thing. The cost of the ammo increases as the power of your weapon goes up. There's the tactical raft, where you can fight this sea monster clearly. Let's see him pop out here. Where is he? There he is. Yummy. So these were designed and constructed by Project Janus scientists. Terminus features boat delivery portals allowing for on-demand transportation around the vicinity of the main island, usually on a well-utilized dock or pier. Swimming in the choppy waters of the ocean under current circumstances is possible but not advised, and the tactical raft is the fastest way to reach the outer islands and the abandoned shipwreck. Trials. Okay. Zetsubo style. Phasing in and out of reality across the map is an odd and intriguing terminal, which intermittently allows you to complete trials of special objective trials. With enough essence, you can activate a terminal unit and begin a short challenge. This could involve holding a specific zone, dispatching enemies in a skillful manner, or a host of other conditions. Succeed, and a special chest warps into reality, offering up... Okay, so it's just Cold War Trials Machine. For some reason in my head at the beginning of the video, I had it in my head that it was going to be more like Zetsubo, but it's not. It's more like just a Cold War Trials system. Power-ups, all sort of stuff that looks pretty familiar, to be honest. Is there anything new? Not really. Elemental damage. We've got frost, fire, electric, toxic, shadow. And I guess shadow is gravity. Dark flare. The Shadow Rift ammo mod. And Casimir's. So it's pretty cool that they've articulated these sort of elemental types, because those have been a little bit sort of... They've slipped under the radar a little bit, I think, in terms of official communications for a couple of years. So I think that's good to see. We've got weapon rarity upgrades. Oh man, this looks gross. This is so grim. The upgrade tier of your weapon is visible on your HUD as the color behind the ammo and reserves, along with a small diamond icon signifying the tier of damage your weapon is capable of inflicting. Use increasing amounts of salvage to add potency to your weapon. Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4, or Tier 5. Wall buys. Wall buys? We know what wall buys are. I don't think that's a big deal. Armor levels. They cost essence, and there's an armor wall talk now, which is pretty interesting. You've got level 2 and level 3. And once you visit an armor wall buy, it ceases to function. And you just accrue armor plates via ground loot or crafting them. Yeah, okay, that's to be expected. The mystery box, this is something we obviously know how it works already. It has a random rarity. The rarity increases. Sorry, it indicates how much extra damage the weapon can inflict. But the higher the round, the greater the chance of a higher rarity weapon. Cool. There's also a mystery box. Weapon spawns once you've already built out in the loadout menu, but with the added benefit of rarity upgrade. After a few spins, the box moves. Yep, okay, standard. Pack-a-punch, probably pretty standard. You can easily reach the machine and automatically upgrade with a single button press. No more menu to slow down the action. Okay, that's a good sign. I like the idea of just being able to sort of sprint past the Pack-a-punch and hit that button to upgrade and just sort of glancingly do it. And you can pap 3 times. And that's all sort of standard. Then there's rare wonder weapons. This one's called the Beam Smasher. It looks pretty sick here. It's comparable in size and shape to a light machine gun and features a single barrel emitting a supercharged and incredibly damaging etheric beam. Set around the barrel are resonator focus flaps that direct the energy created by the weapon. It's reloaded by swapping out the side-mounted DAP canister. And this is it in use. And it looks pretty fire. Kind of reminds me of the Die Shockwave. But also the body of it kind of looks a bit more like, I don't know, some gun from like Advanced Warfare or something maybe, or maybe Infinite Warfare. It's got 2 firing modes. Primary, which fires a solid beam of etheric energy, causing organic matter to break down at the molecular level. This occurs almost instantly, and enemies appear to explode in a cloud of vaporized innards. Further testing is needed, but it appears that the longer the weapon fires, the more ungainly it becomes to move. Interesting. Secondary, focus sound waves cause the molecules of multiple enemy targets to vibrate at alarmingly fast rates. Targets are racked with pulsing head trauma that incapacitates them by slowing them. Entities in this state become much more easily damaged by both the primary firing mode and conventional firepower. Cool, okay, so it's sort of like a support weapon as well. The weapon may experience energy venting as excess pressure builds up during the expenditure of an ammunition tube. Automatically reloading appears to cause a small blast radius and appears to knock down enemies within the vicinity. The weapon also appears to be pack-a-punchable 3 times, with increasing blah, not to mention blah. Cool. Yeah, I'm happy with the wonder weapon. I think it looks good. It's got multiple elements to it. There's some skill to use it in the right way, probably tapping it, like the transit jet gun, most likely. So now let's do a little bit of bestiary stuff. So we've got the bipedal shamblers, okay? So they're just zombies. That's what all this is saying. It's just Project Janus security attire, and they're just zombies. Then we've got zombies. So that's just more zombies. They're just making a new bullet point for them. Armored zombies, which we're all familiar with. Once again, we know what armored zombies are. Heavy zombies, even more armored. And then we've got vermin. So vermin's new. Large, spider-like ravenous scuttlers with a central thorax that seems to take the form of a screaming human head. There you go, delicious. Relatively weak individually, they become more dangerous in packs and sometimes appear after detaching from a fallen zombie host. In a spray of blood, the head and some internal organs rip free of the skin and sprout legs. Keep your head on a swivel, lest you're dropped on, and vermin sprint and jump to inflict damage with their mouth wide open with a wet growl. They've also been known to spit a caustic substance, but this is the least of your worries. Yeah, they look pretty gnarly. They have the potential to evolve into another form, which is called the parasite. Parasites are horrific flying creatures. They seem to possess a level of cunning, preferring to remain at a distance, and again, we've sort of seen parasites before, so this isn't too crazy. Manglers are back, obviously. This is called an amalgam. The zenith of the body horror aesthetic, the amalgam is a form of fleshy deviancy that until now has defied explanation. I mean, it's a thrasher. We can just call it a thrasher. And amalgams appear to be violent masses of flesh and sinew, emitting bellows from multiple heads. It's theorized that should an amalgam be killed, it will spontaneously lose cohesion, exploding into sprays of blood, entrails, and innards. Yeah, I mean, I would expect that. High rounds. For those advanced players hoping for a challenge, get ready to pull out all the stops and learn a few new tricks as the round numbers climb. Zombies start to move with an increased swiftness, from shambles to run to sprint. It becomes even more critical to learn escape routes and circular routes as well as every zombie spawn nest, lest you're hemmed in and overwhelmed in seconds. Right, well that's just basic. Players should also expect a high level of difficulty in general when it comes to high round play. Treyarch has limited the number of self-revive purchases to 3 per match. Huge! Coupled with the risk versus reward nature of augments, rather than relying on 5 tiers of permanent weapon skill upgrades in Black Ops Cold War, for example, players will need to make some tough choices to plan for their survival compared to more recent zombies experiences. That's good! That is a good thing. Each zombies map will have ambient encounters specific to the environment, so when you're exploring Terminus, you'll encounter the last vestiges of Project Janus security forces being pounced on. That's pretty cool. You've got the tentacle trap. These seem to be holding back something, perhaps something that has escaped from containment. We saw it in the gameplay reveal trailer, which I've already posted to my channel, and look, there's Jug. It's nice to see it. Nice familiar face. The void cannon trap we also saw in the gameplay trailer. It's been recently upgraded and improved by Project Janus forces in an attempt to weaponize Ethereum. It looks pretty cool. And then there's the tentacle. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Or in this case, oh, that's actually a really cool screenshot. Look at that. Nice. In this case, where there's an alarming, choking, lightning-imbued cloud of toxic smog, there's a monstrously sized, writhing tendril intent on capsizing tactical rafts. This worm-like crime against nature seems possessed by a proto-intelligence of sorts, spitting out a billowing spray of noxious vapors from its hideous, splayed maw, before quickly retreating beneath the caves. Venture off the main island or into the water at your own risk. There's definitely going to be a way to kill that, for sure. So what's next? Well, it's COD Next. Ironically, next is next. And you can also pre-order and get some bonus stuff. So overall, I would say there's a huge amount of good in here. There's a huge amount of good. They've made some really interesting changes. There's nothing that I saw here that I was like, this is going to completely revolutionize the way that I personally play zombies. But there was still a lot of good in the post, don't get me wrong. I just am not the one that is going to sort of make use of some of the quality of life features or the more sort of beginner-facing features and stuff like that. The exception to that maybe is the saving feature. I can imagine myself saving pretty often, like being able to start a stream and already be on round 30 and not need to just like leave my console on in order to achieve that. and also to not need to just grind through the first 30 rounds either prior to the stream or on stream and waste everybody's time just getting to some exciting gameplay. That's cool. So I'm very positive about that, and I respect the fact that they've recognized that the game's online only and that has its problems, but there are sort of semi-solutions that they can roll out. The Wonder Weapon looks cool. Everything we've seen from the sort of overall intention that the team has this year, like in this post and elsewhere, to really put zombies on the map is very promising. But I'm going to need to make breakout videos about the save system and about guided mode and about all these things in their own individual vids, just once I've had more than an hour of sleep, because it was a very late night last night and I'm struggling right now. So hope you've enjoyed the breakdown and some initial thoughts on everything new coming in Black Ops 6 Zombies. If you enjoyed the video, a like on it would be absolutely massively appreciated, and consider subscribing as well for more zombies content like this in the future, just slightly more refined by that point. Okay, I'll see you then. Bye for now.